The lion is the king of the jungle for a reason. He's on top of the food pyramid, has no natural predators, and is what scientists call an apex predator. Now, in our technological world, a few products have become so superior to their competitors and so dominant in their markets, they've become what I call an apex product. So what exactly is an apex product? It's simple. It's when the world's richest person cannot buy a better product in a specific category than the average person. And perhaps there's no better example of this than the iPhone. Elon Musk cannot buy a better smartphone than my dad. Even if he spent his last dollar building manufacturing facilities and factories, he might be able to build a phone that has a superior hardware specification like a faster processor or a higher resolution camera, but he can't possibly get even close to the iPhone experience. And that's because when you're using an iPhone, you're not just using an iPhone. You're using iMessages, iCloud, Apple Pay, FaceTime, and countless of other services. So not only would Elon have to create a better phone, he would have to create a better operating system, design new algorithms, invent new protocols, create thousands of partnerships, and etc. Because the value of the iPhone isn't just in the iPhone itself, but in its ability to integrate itself with our everyday life. For example, when I walk up to my front door, my iPhone automatically unlocks it. It lets me control all of the lights, thermostats, and TVs throughout my house. I can remotely connect to my Tesla to preheat it for those cold winter days. Actually, I don't even need to carry a driver's license because some states let you carry a digital one on your phone. I can pay for the subway, groceries, the list goes on, and that's because the iPhone is just the tip of the iceberg, and the iceberg is the ecosystem. Eventually, you might pick up a pair of AirPods, or you might get an Apple Watch, upgrade to a MacBook, and before you know it, you're fully immersed in Apple's ecosystem, which gives you superpowers that no other company can. For example, I can get a FaceTime call on my iPhone, pick it up on my iPad, and then transfer it to my MacBook while I use my Apple Watch to turn down the Apple TV that's playing through my HomePod speaker so I can peacefully have a conversation on my AirPods. That is the power of the ecosystem. And because these devices are so well integrated with each other and play so well together, it's almost unfair of what Apple can actually do. For starters, when you open up your MacBook, you no longer have to type in your password if you're wearing an Apple Watch because it could automatically authorize you. You can also use your Apple Watch as a remote control for your iPhone camera so you can take pictures or videos from a distance. And whenever you're using Apple Fitness on your Apple TV, your Apple Watch shows your heart rate directly on the screen. If you happen to travel, you can use it on your iPad or your iPhone. And since Apple has so many partnerships, a lot of gym equipment directly integrates seamlessly. Now, speaking of Apple TV, in order to ensure that you're getting the most color accurate picture, it does a really clever calibration using your iPhone. So the Apple TV will play a sequence of colors on your TV screen while you take your front-facing camera on your iPhone and you put it directly up against the screen. Now, since the Apple TV and the iPhone are talking, the iPhone knows the exact value for each color. So it can tell the Apple TV to tweak the color on screen ever so slightly until it's perfectly accurate, ensuring you have the best picture possible. And what's even crazier is AirPods spatial audio personalization, which uses your iPhone's front-facing camera and LiDAR sensor to scan the 3D geometry of your ear and your facial topology to create the perfect acoustic environment for you to experience surround sound. Another example is the iPad Final Cut Pro feature called Multicam, which transforms your iPad into a production studio by enabling you to connect with up to 4 iPhones or iPads and giving you full creative control. And whenever you're done recording, all the footage automatically syncs up on your iPad. All of these interesting combinations between devices show you the power of Apple's ecosystem. And in 2021, I published an original concept where I kind of laid out the blueprint of how Apple could build an indoor GPS where your phone can essentially know where it's located inside of your house, using the ultra-wideband chip in multiple Apple devices to triangulate its location. What this means is that your phone can gain a spatial awareness about your house, so whenever you go inside of your bedroom, certain apps and widgets could be suggested based on the time of day and location. So for example, you might get controls of the lights and the TVs in that room. When you go downstairs in the kitchen, you automatically might get a timer, recipe books, etc. Now, I don't know about a smartphone, but Elon is busy building an apex product himself, the Tesla. Because it's getting increasingly harder and harder for even Elon himself to be able to purchase a better car, no matter how much money he has. To start off, Teslas are already the safest cars on the road. The Model Y is the safest car ever tested, and it's almost impossible for it to flip over because it has such a low center of gravity due to the battery placement. The Model S actually broke the safety testing machine that tried to crush its roof for the first time ever, which only shows you how strong it is. And in the real world, in a very unfortunate incident, there was a family of 4 inside of a Tesla that plunged off of a 250-foot cliff. all 4 of them walked away unharmed. Now, when it comes to performance, there's smoke in all the sports cars on the road. BMW, Mercedes, Audis can't even keep up. Even the $1 million Bugatti can't compete with a Tesla Roadster, and that's just the older generation. People may think that Tesla's advantage is that it's an electric vehicle at an affordable price, but that's missing the point entirely. Tesla's breakthrough isn't the fact that it's an affordable EV, but the fact that it's a self-driving computer, because full self-driving changes the game and redefines what a vehicle even is. Now, at this point, you've probably heard that Elon is planning on launching a feature, so whenever you're not using your Tesla, you can send it out to Uber other people and earn money on your behalf. And in between rides, you can actually sell computational cycles from its computer to other companies. The way that works is basically a fleet of Teslas formed as decentralized supercomputer, which can perform AI inference for other companies that could be rented out, and it's another revenue stream for its owners. Now, just like Apple's ecosystem has different products for different lifestyles, Tesla's lineup is doing the same. They have a sedan, a supercar, a pickup truck, a SUV, a bus, and even semi-trucks. And that's just the vehicle aspect of it, because Tesla owns one of the world's largest supercharging networks with over 6,700 superchargers across the globe. They sell solar roofs for your house and batteries to store the energy, so theoretically you can take your entire house off the grid. Oh, and let's not forget they also own physical stores, which lets them bypass traditional dealerships going straight to consumer. Now, once again, owning all of these verticals gives Tesla the ability to do things that sound like science fiction. For example, if you're driving in a Model S or a Model X and you go over a pothole, that data gets uploaded to the network of the entire fleet of Teslas. So if 2 days later I'm driving on that same road, my car will automatically adjust its suspension because it knows that pothole is coming up. And then there's over-the-air software updates, just like an iPhone. So in 2018, Model 3 owners woke up in the morning to find that their car had improved braking performance by 20 feet going at 60 miles an hour, all with a software update. And even today, I can purchase a software update for $2,000 that will shave off 0.6 seconds off my Model Y's 0 to 60. Next up are the Tesla semi-trucks, which can actually form a convoy. This is when you have a bunch of trucks driving directly behind each other, all following the leader, which could be autonomous. And since the first truck is hitting all the air resistance, this saves on fuel efficiency for every single truck behind it down the line. Now, I remember reading that a convoy of 3 Tesla semis gets about 85 cents per mile. And not only is that cheaper than the conventional diesel trucks, which get about $1.30 per mile, but it turns out it's even cheaper than train transportation. And this doesn't even take into consideration Elon's other companies, which is where shit gets crazy. Like the upcoming Roadster is a collaboration between SpaceX and Tesla, where the car features 10 rocket thrusters, making it the fastest production car ever made, going from 0 to 60 in just 1.1 seconds. Then we have SpaceX, which means that every Tesla will be able to have internet connection from anywhere on the planet by connecting to Starlink's satellites. Then we have xAI, which is Elon's AI company that currently has the world's largest supercomputer for AI training. xAI is also the creator of Grok, which is a ChatGPT competitor, so pretty soon every Tesla will have a built-in LLM that you can talk to. Elon's Boring Company is already creating their own road infrastructure underneath cities with miles of roads that are already built. And let's not even talk about the humanoid robots that Tesla is building, or the brain-computer interfaces created by Neuralink, so the possibilities are going to be crazy. So if we take a step back and we look at the evolution of companies, we notice that back in the day, it was really about the product. For example, in the music industry, Sony came out with the Walkman, which could play any cassette tape from any vendor. Since then, we've shifted from products to platforms, as Apple came out with the iPod in conjunction with iTunes. Both of them went hand in hand. And since then, we've shifted from platforms to entire ecosystems, where the iPhone is just a single node in a constellation of other products like headphones, speakers, streaming services that make up the entirety of Apple's ecosystem. Now, just like not every ecosystem can support an apex predator, not every industry can support an apex product. But whenever they do emerge, the competition doesn't stand a chance. Let me know what you think down below, and until next time.